It is May 22nd, 2018. This is the Watchman News, and I'm Mike Callahan. So, Free Thought Project has a really disturbing article, and this was put out yesterday. And I see an article like this, and it makes me think of articles that I've seen in the past. Like, for instance, one in New York, to where there was an alleged gunman, and a police officer just absolutely just unloaded. There was a bunch of innocent bystanders around. There were people that were hit, and it was absolutely insane. But the idea of this is completely heart wrenching, and it's I think about it, and I think about the implications. My mind is boggled. It frustrates me. There's so much that runs through my mind initially, just when I see it. It's just a little bit ago that I've seen it for the first time, and I'm having a problem wrapping my head around it. Let's go ahead and get into the article. I'll put the link to this article down in the description of the video. Investigators admit victims in Texas shooting could have been killed by police fire. I didn't misquote that. Santa Fe, Texas. Last week, a 17-year-old high school student allegedly brought a .38 caliber handgun and a sawed-off 12-gauge shotgun in a Santa Fe high school and began shooting students and teachers. Now, as more details emerge, we are learning that some of the victims could have been killed by police. According to Galveston County Sheriff Henry Trachette, the gunfire in the school lasted half an hour. During that time, police were engaged in a shootout with the gunman for 25 minutes, according to authorities. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about that. I just wonder if this is going to get any MSM time. I'm assuming probably not. When the gunfire finally ceased, the gunman was alive while 8 students and 2 teachers were killed. That's a trip, ain't it? Have no problem shooting unarmed people. On Monday, Trachette told CNN that officers arrived quickly and engaged the shooter in the school's art lab section for just 4 minutes from the time of the first shot. After laying out the timeline, Trachette made a damning admission. According to the report from CNN, the idea that police may have killed some of the victims is chilling. According to police, the suspect told investigators he acted alone and spared people he liked because he wanted his story told. Now, however, that story may take a turn and involve police officers. As the victims and their families try to imagine why a person would carry out such a horrific act, some insight is now emerging. One of the victims, 16-year-old Shayna Fisher, had reportedly rejected the shooter's advances for months. A week before the shooting, Fisher stood up in class and publicly proclaimed that she did not want to go out with him. Sadie Bays, Fisher's mother, said she believes that embarrassed the shooter so much that he targeted her. One of the shotgun shells was for my daughter, she said. Along with Fisher, the shooting also claimed the lives of students Jared Black, Sabika Sheikh, and I probably said that wrong, a Pakistani exchange student, Chris Stone, Angelique Ramirez, Christian Riley Garcia, Aaron Kyle McLeod, and Kimberly Vaughn. Teachers Glenda Ann Perkins and Cynthia Tisdale were also killed. Officer John Burns, who did the opposite of what police did in the Florida school shooting, was also shot as he engaged the shooter. He survived and is expected to make a recovery. Attorneys for the gunman Robert Barfield and Nicholas Pohl spoke to media over the weekend and noted that their client appears to be in shock, adding that he is not doing well and is confused. I'm going to reread that again, because I find that extremely interesting. Attorneys for the gunman, Robert Barfield and Nicholas Pohl, spoke to media over the weekend and noted that their client appears to be in shock, adding that he is not doing well and is confused. Now, how many times have we read some of the same reactions from the individuals that were involved in some of these mass shootings? We need to take note of this. I think it's an important clue, but let me continue on. As TFTP has reported on numerous occasions, the majority of mass shooters have links to psychological medications that carry serious warnings for side effects on their labels. Stephen Paddock, Omar Mateen, Gavin Long, Eric Harris, Dylan Klebold, James Holmes, and Nicholas Cruz all have one thing in common other than the mass murders they carried out. They were all reportedly taking prescription drugs which alter their state of mind and carry a host of negative side effects ranging from aggression to suicide to homicidal ideation. As the details continue to unfold over this most recent tragedy, hopefully the public and the families of the victims will not be kept in the dark, as they deserve to know the truth. Certainly insane. Certainly insane. And that is, time and time and time again, we hear the same things. The psychological medications that they're on, the amount of confusion, how some of them don't even remember carrying the act out. And I don't think it's all just the medications either. I want to make that clear. But I agree with the article 110%. The families deserve to know the truth. They need to know the truth about all of it. Whether their child is a victim of a police bullet. I think everybody needs to know this. I think these things are important to be put out there. And why is it important? Because folks need to see what is really going on. They really, really do. They need to see what is going on. I think if we could stop being politically correct in this country, I think if we could stop worrying about offending people or upsetting people, at least to an extent, it's crazy at this point. In some places, you can't say certain words like mom and dad or boy and girl, right? How in the hell did we get there? But if we can stop being like that and we can start being honest about these things, maybe we can start to fix them. But I have a feeling that we're going to find some very, very dark, sinister things at the bottom of this barrel. Link to this article will be in the description. Thanks for watching.